Here we go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet. So we have the French Protoss player, the French Protoss himself. We have the blue Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top left-hand corner. Top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the German Terran representing Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. Just catching with the chat. I don't get it. Why is this live at 3 a.m.? Oh, if you're watching from Europe, it is very, very late. Very, very late in the evening. But this is a German event. It's in Krefeld, Germany, HomeStory Cup. But of course, this is a replay cast. This is a replay cast. It is in the title of both the YouTube and the Twitch stream. Cast in the title. And yes, this is... Here we go. Yes. The event was held in Germany, but this is a replay cast. Again, typically, for the past couple of years, here on the CranKy Ducklings, we have been the official B stream for the HomeStory Cup, and we did cast it live on a regular basis for the past like 3-4 years. But this most recent HomeStory Cup, we were unavailable. So we could not cast it live. So that is why we are covering it via replays. In years past, we would cast it live. Just as a heads up, as a reminder. So unfortunately, we were unavailable, and we're catching up with these replays instead. Catching up. For now, though, we do have our Gate Expand. Gate Expand is a cyber core. Standard opening here by Clem. Likewise, Gabe going double gas. Okay, so when it comes to PvT, when it comes to Clem's Protoss, Clem, he is renowned for his mid-game, play specifically. That is typically where Clem does thrive in this matchup. In his mid-game, mid to late game as well. Meanwhile, Gabe, I would imagine, especially what we've seen in the past, should be looking to try to end the game early, to try to break a Clem early on, shut him down, and ensure that Clem doesn't get comfortable. Welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. All-ins here are going to be more favored. And if you recall, we did cast Gabe versus Harsum earlier in the broadcast, and Gabe did all-in. Like, he was going for hyper-aggressive builds, did all-in the hell out of Harsum, did shut him down. So we'll see if Gabe can do something similar here to Clem. We shall see. As again, Clem, he has some of the best PvT in the world. There's only one Terran player that Clem has not beaten, and that is Maru. And the only reason for that is because they never played. They have not played. If you recall, in Rongi Cup, I was expecting to see them in the semifinals, but Trigger did defeat Clem, so we never got to see Maru versus Clem. We still just haven't seen it. Except for that one time on the ladder. True. Like, they have hit each other on the ladder before, but outside of ladder games, like, they haven't played in a competitive setting. It feels bad, man. Streamer Hellion does break in. Again, for now, it's going to be a Twilight Counter open down to Clem. Clem opening up Blink, and we'll see if he goes into 3-gate Blink or 2-gate Blink. How greedy is Clem going to be? Meanwhile, for Gabe to commit into Triple Reaper Double Hellion, he has to get damage done. This is a big commitment. Big commitment here by Gabe. The goal here is to get into the mineral line, but there's a safety shield battery. There's a battery here at the natural. Force field also available. Army does rush past, though. Yeah, it does rush past. One Hellion goes down, but the army does get into the main, and probes will fall. How many? Getting 2, getting up to 3. 3, 4 probes go down. Nice damage here by Gabe, getting up to 5, 6 probe kills. Not bad. So 6 probes for 2 Hellions and 3 Reapers. Not a bad trade here by Gabe. Again, my concern was that he would get 0 damage, but he sit by. He was able to sit by. And with that, the opener was worth of a Gabe. Behind this, switching into Cloak Banshee. Again, the aggression continues. 2 Banshees will one-shot probes, so even with a shield battery, even if there's a battery in the mineral line, Banshees can still overwhelm. Ooh, but Clem scouts. Yeah, Clem, he scouts, he gets into the main base, he confirms the cloak, he sees the research. Does see the research. Did find the first Banshee. And it does chase him down. Behind this, going for the third base before the Robo. So this was a greedy build by Clem. There's a reason why he struggled a little bit here in the early game. Clem, he went 2-gate Blink into a third base before Robo and before third gateway. So very greedy build here by Clem. A little bit surprising. I feel like you often don't see this on 10,000 feet, so very risky. but he is going to get away with it. Because of this greed, on the one hand, yes, Gabe, he got 6 probe kills. On the other hand, Clem makes up for that with the faster third base. Ideally, with this build, Clem wanted to get ahead economically, but instead, he's going to be able to even things up. As the Banshee pokes in, gets 2 probes. Nice damage here. And again, the pressure's on Gabe to try to punish the greed of Clem. And Gabe has done well so far. Oh, este Lumia fan. Reaper Hellion Banshee openers common in TvP these days. Would I say common? Relatively common. I would say that right now in TvP there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of variety when it comes to Widowmine drop openers, or Reaper Hellion Banshee, or Reaper Hellion Raven, for example, like Raven follow-up instead. There's a lot of variety. From the Terran side. From the Protoss side, it's a little bit more limited. From the Protoss side, it's like 2-gate blink, 3-gate blink, or 4-gate blink, or Stargate. It's a little bit more limited in set opening options. So far, we do have our Bay. So Bay behind the main base, building up into Colossus, not Storm. Like Widowmine drops, like Proxy Starport into Hellion drops. A lot of variety. As Hallucination does confirm the 3rd CC, so Clem is aware that Gabe is building up into a more mid-game play, into a macro game. And Clem can settle in. From here, yep, it prompts him to take his 4th base. So a well-timed 4th. As Gabe gets his 3rd. Meanwhile, double Banshee towards the 3rd base. Remember, they can one-shot probes. They do sit by. Clem is somewhat in position, but probes are still going to go down. Getting 1, 2, 3 probe kills. 4 probes, even 5. 5 probes go down. Nice damage. As the Banshee's distracted, Gabe is pushing forward. His main army is activated. Gets spotted by the Stalker. Clem is aware. And remember, specifically on 10,000 feet, tanks can siege up behind this ravine and they can hit the mineral line. Like, this mineral line is exposed to tanks. So we could see Gabe abuse this. Oh, nice catch on one of the Banshees. Banshee finally does go down. The base is still soon to be saturated. And Clem will have to fight for control of the center of the map. As we are embracing that mid game. Let's go. We embrace it, Pat. Clem even rushing into his 5th base. This is a little bit greedy here. Okay, very fast 5th. He throws it down as he saw the center tower. Again, if Gabe is going to be more turtle heavy here, then Clem can get away with this. Clem going for his 2nd robo as well, so double Colossal production into double disruptors. Clem is building up and looking to get away with some greed. And I feel like he will. At this point, yep, Gabe, he's just turtling up, throwing down more turrets, more sensor towers, bunkers, setting up his Sim City. We're getting ready for the late game. We're building up to the late game. Speaking of this base being exposed, it goes both ways. Colossus, they take down the gas geyser. Gabe is getting his 4th CC, again indicating that we're building up into the late game. And right now it's going to be on Clem not to break the center position, but to delay the 4th. Takes down the turrets. Vikings, they get a free volley off. Ooh, the Colossus taking a lot of hits. Colossus have to be careful as Clem distracts. Again, going for the drop, getting a 6th expansion behind this as well. Again, just mass expanding. Keeping Gabe busy. And as we mentioned, Clem has no intention of committing. Just poking in, pulling away, Prism gets into the main, going for the warp in, and now he can push in. And now he can try to break through. Blinks on forward, gets one of the tanks. He gets 1, 2, 3. Can he get the third tank? Not quite. So 2 tanks go down. At the same time, 12 SCV kills, more warp ins into the main. And Gabe is being pulled apart here. The Prism barely gets away. And Clem doesn't kill, but Clem cripples. Clem cripples Gabe. Getting 18 SCV kills. Takes down the sensor tower. Again, containing Gabe. 4th base has been spotted. Clem getting ready for a run by. Once again, not really allowing Gabe to breathe. Perks in, Nova goes up. Decent connection. Zalza hit the 4th base. SCVs are going down, losing up to 22 SCVs. Can he kill the CC? No shot. Does lift. Whew. Does lift in time. Gabe is keeping up. Somewhat at least. He's trying to hold on. Now what's important is that Gabe, he's been slowly building up his Viking counts. He's getting a 2nd starport, and there should be 4 Liberators. Things are looking rough here for Gabe, 100%. But if Gabe can stabilize on 4 bases, if he can slow the game down, if he can wall up with tanks and Liberators, then he can stabilize. Stabilize. He's still getting there. We have Clem switching into Mass Disruptor. And she gets across the map. The Viking count is still quite low, only 4 Vikings. Gabe is very bio heavy. A lot of Marines, a lot of Marauders. And here come the Novas. Oh my god, massive connections. The splits are not there. And Nova pops off. Punishing Gabe. Oh. Has to be careful with those disruptors. Has to be careful. Oh. Grazing the tank. And we spoke earlier about Gabe trying to get into Liberators. I mean, there's the Fusion Core. The Fusion Core is for Liberator range, but Gabe is still a ways away. He needs more time. Again, just losing all those SCVs has heavily delayed Gabe. He wants to get to that freedom back. It's going up. Oof. Once again, punishing the pyre. Better splits towards the end. But remember, Clem is getting a 7th expansion. Clem can afford to trade. He can afford to be inefficient. The scary thing is that he hasn't really been inefficient. It's like, that's what's scary. He's been trading well. Clipping the Marauders. Toss clip. Oh god, massive connections, catching out more Marauders. Rough losses there for Gabe. And this time going for the tanks, it gets 2. 2 tanks go down. Punishing the stacking. Fusion Core is done. The Ghost Academy is still halfway done as well. Like again, the further tech here that Gabe needs, it's still a ways away. Trying to work towards Ghosts, EMPs, Liberators. He can't make use of the Fusion Core. Prisms this in. Slips into the main base. At the same time, Clem distracts. Starting back Gabe. Warp in will complete. Oh my god, yeah, Novas, they just keep connecting. No! One after the other. Gabe, he takes some massive Novas to the face. Warping into the main, taking over the main, catching reinforcements, potentially dying +2. And then Clem, he's just pulling HeRoMaRinE apart. Pulling him apart, Bappy. Collapsing the main army. GG gets called, and Clem, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. Hi, hi, hi. GG, well played with that. Oh, with that, Clem, he does take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense game here. Gabe, early on, he was doing a lot of economic damage, right? Winding it back, the Reaper Hellion and the Banshee, they were doing a lot of damage, bearing in mind that Clem was being greedy, so the damage that was being done was kind of evening up and equalizing the economy instead of giving Gabe the lead that he wanted, so bear that in mind. But when it came to defense, Gabe was setting up on 3 bases. Initially, he was looking solid until the War Prism got in. The War Prism did slip by behind the natural into the main base and got 2 or 3 massive warp-ins into both bases, and that was just pulling Gabe apart and had allowed Clem to push in and to snipe those tanks. Remember, he was able to blink forward, he sniped 2 tanks initially, weakening the defense and ensuring that he could just keep his presence there at that forward base, kept applying pressure, killing SCVs, picking up some key units, rotating as well. And again, Clem wasn't necessarily killing Gabe, but he was crippling. He was just crippling him, pulling him apart until eventually GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, Clem takes the lead, and now we're going to be loading into game number 2. We'll see if Gabe can recover, bounce back, and force the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. Disruptors don't one-shot bio? Not anymore. It's been so long, Lumia. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Hope you're doing well. For those who are curious, at least in the YouTube chat, Lumia, he's a fellow CranKy Duckling. He used to be very active back in the day. Australian Terran player, Australian Terran. But yeah, it was over a year ago. Over a year ago, there was a patch which did actually nerf disruptors. So disruptors, they no longer one-shot marauders, and they no longer one-shot roaches, and they no longer one-shot ghosts. So a lot of the strength of the disruptor was taken away. So just so it's less kind of less intense, it's less game ending. Like the idea of like 1 or 2 novas going off and just annihilating an army, now that's been lessened a little bit. You have to rely on multiple novas, of course, and that was a change that was made quite some time ago. If I recall correctly, the radius was also reduced radius. If I remember, I think they reduced the radius, and then I think they increased it again. I remember they tinkered around a little bit with the disruptor also, over multiple patches. I did tinker with it, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. We have the French Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Terran player. We have the German Terran representing Mouse. It is HeRoMaRinE. What a dream patch to play on. they still one-shot Marines. They still one-shot Marines. They still one-shot Zerglings. Like they still one-shot some units. But yes, it's there's been a lot of changes over the years. A lot of changes. Didn't think Blizzard was doing active bounce patches anymore. Lumia. No, they released a patch earlier this year. Sorry, I say earlier this year. The latest patch was last year, October. It was like halfway through October, coming to November. That was the latest patch. I bet Cyclones have been reworked 6 times since I left. Yes. you know what? You might be dead on with 6 times. Like it might have been that many. But yes, Cyclones have been reworked quite heavily over the years as well. Yeah, the new Cyclone, the old Cyclone, the old Cyclone, like the aye. Yeah, good to see you, Lemmy. Good to see you. For now, though, we're going to be settling in. We do have our initial openers. Once again, we do have a faster factory, a delayed CC, so double gas opener out of Gabe, going for Reaper Hellion early on. Going for a more tech-heavy start and going for a delayed expansion. Meanwhile, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps in the map. Well, smaller map, a very open map as well. As you can see here, we have an open 3rd base, an open area in between the bases, an open 4th, an open 5th. Much more open, much smaller. Aggression is favored here. We expect to see all-ins on this map typically, so we should be seeing a safer build out of Clem. Winding it back, what did Clem go for last game? He went for a Twilight Council opener into Blink, into 2 Gate, into a third base. He went for a very greedy build, and I'll be shocked if we see that here. There we go. So unlike last time, we have a safety robo. Safety robo, this does mean that if Clem scouts an all-in, he can make a defensive immortal. He can make immortals, he can make observers, and we have a third gateway as well. Ooh, Reapers, they dip into the main base, but they're going to be deflected. So far, Clem is keeping up, and again, Clem, he's staying on 2 bases that much longer. Reaper Hellion into the natural. Shield batteries in position. And this time a cleaner defense. So again, the battery comes into play, the army is deflected, and Clem is staying on 2 bases. Now from here, now it's safe to expand. Clem does zone Gabe away. Gabe does go for the same build. He went Reaper Hellion into Cloak Banshee tank. So same build, same follow-up. Oh, Clem actually staying on 2 bases a little bit longer here. He delays his third base, going for the War Prism, going for aggression. So Clem is moving out. No safety bunker. No safety bunker here out of Gabe, which means SCVs are going to get picked up. Ay, ay, ay. At the same time, Gabe gets into the main. Does get in. SCVs are going down. Rough losses here for HeRoMaRinE. At the same time, does get 2 probes in the main base. Can get up to 4. 4, 5? Okay. 5 probes go down. Some decent damage here with 6 probe kills. But across the map, that's going to be 7 SCVs falling. So on the one hand, this was nice damage here by HeRoMaRinE. At the same time, though, I mean, that is nullified here because of the Stalker aggression from Clem. So we have it back and forth. Both players losing workers. Now there are 2 tanks here for Gabe. He should be able to defend. He's got his tanks up. He'll be able to hold on. Clem now takes a third. So we had a much more aggressive and a much more chaotic early game here. In game 2. Clem slipping into the main. At the same time, Banshees, they do get across the map. Banshees on the way. Cloak did finish. Clem slips in. And Gaby's moving out. Oh, does he commit? He does. Gaby's not turning around. He's not going to turn around. He commits across the map. He does pull a couple of boys. Yeah, it's all or nothing for Gabe. He commits. 6 SCVs going down. And Clem can always recall. He can always recall back home. As I'm sure Clem is noticing the lack of army. Back at home, where are the warpins? The army's in the main. He's got 3 stalkers in the main. The tanks to get within range of the gateway. Within range of the robo, actually. Yeah, the robo's under fire. Clem, he recalled back home. Dives on the tanks. He gets 1. 1 tank goes down. He gets both. Both tanks, they barely do fall. Detection's available. Now going for the Banshee. And Clem, it looks like he will barely hold. Yeah, he barely does hold on. Cleans up the Marines. Remember, this is pre-stim. There's no stim on the Marines. So they cannot chase. They're being bullied by the Stalkers. Up! Gets 1. Gets 1 Stalker. Bit of miscontrol there by Clem, and Gabe is still rallying. Gabe is still rallying across. The bunker's done. The body blocking! Oh no! He cannot bluff, but he will catch reinforcements. Yeah, catching reinforcements. Nice juggling here by Clem, saving the Stalkers. 1 Stalker does go down. But the reinforcements are called out. And these Marines are on their own. They're on their own. Within range of the robo, but the robo, the hunger is going to go down. The robo is saved. GG gets called, and Clem, he will claim the series 2-0, taking down HeRoMaRinE. GG. GG, well played, Clem. He will claim the series. A very chaotic back and forth, especially here in game 2. Very chaotic, very aggressive here by HeRoMaRinE. Thankfully for Clem, remember what were we emphasizing? Clem was already going for a safer build, right? Clem, he was already going for extra gateways and a robo as well on 2 bases. He was delaying his third base, so he was just going for a safer build overall, and happened to be up against a much more aggressive build by Gabe. Gabe committing here on 2 bases, pushing out with his tanks, and alas, Clem, he barely held on. It was still close though. It was still close. I was very impressed that Gabe, he got within range of the robo even. He got within range, but Clem, he recalled in time, blinked on in, focused on the tanks. GG. That was game. That was game then and there when he was able to bring down those tanks. Bunkers did not finish in time, and Clem will claim the series. Does claim the series. I guess Clem couldn't resist the urge to Protoss. Nah. The temptation is too strong, Babby. It's too strong. Could not resist, but GG. GG, well played. With that, Clem, he will claim the series, and Clem, he will come out in first place in Group C. As I quickly do update the scores. There we go. Does come out in first place, and Gabe comes out in second. The only player that Gabe did lose to in the groups was Clem. So Gabe, he does lose the series to Clem, but the only player to lose the series to. Likewise, Clem in first, Gabe in second. Shout out to Fiant. I was really impressed by Fiant's performance as well. For those that were here yesterday, quickly checking, Fiant, he took a game off of Gabe. You can see here that Fiant, he took a game off of Gabe, and he also took a series off of HeRoMaRinE as well. So really impressive play by Fiant. Fiant, he's a younger up-and-comer from Sweden, of course. Younger player, did perform well for himself. And likewise, Laser alongside HeRoMaRinE, alongside Cristiano, they had their own back and forth as well. But these groups are really brutal. The HomeStory Cup groups are quite large, but it's only top two. Only top two make it through the group stage, so it's very unforgiving. Very, very unforgiving. But in the end, GG, well played. Congratulations, as both Clem and Gabe make it through the group stage. And with that, that concludes our coverage of Group C. Again, it was 2 days of coverage of Group C, and we should be soon getting into Group D. That'll be in a couple of days' time. Bam. When it comes to our schedule, as you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Monday morning broadcast of HomeStory Cup. You can see here that we have OSC Elite Rising Star tomorrow, Tuesday morning. We have PvT Cup on Wednesday, and we get back into HomeStory Cup coverage on Thursday. That'll be HomeStory Cup Group D, followed by the playoffs. So Group D into the playoffs. You can see Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, non-stop HomeStory Cup coverage at this time slot to catch up on those replays. Meanwhile, we have other live events as well, like the Wardy TV Mondays, like Masters One Opens, Sparkling Tuna Cups, PvT Cups, OC Elite, and also the Pondcast as well, the Pondcast. So plenty of live coverage, but specifically for HomeStory Cup, we're catching up on those replays. Catching up. A lot of games. a lot of matches to catch up on. But yeah, very stacked schedule here. If you enjoyed the broadcast, you can check us out on YouTube. ! YouTube in the chat or socials. And our YouTube channel does upload VODs on a daily basis. So plenty of content, plenty of VODs over on YouTube. You can check us out there if you wish. You can support us there if you wish. Otherwise, we do live casts on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We're live over on Kick as well, and over on Facebook. Live all over the place, Pappy, all over the place. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. That's going to be our morning broadcast wrapping up. You actually can't see because my camera's covering it, but we do have another cast in a couple of hours. We're going to be casting PvT Cup. It's going to be a catch-up stream, PvT Cup number 64. That's going to be at 8 p.m. AEST. That's going to be in around 6 hours. 6 hours time, we're going to be live with some more StarCraft with PvT Cup 64. That will be a replay cast. The reasoning for that is that in January, we were very unavailable in January, so we did miss out on a bunch of broadcasts, specifically PvT Cup. We missed out on Rongi Cup, Thunderfire as well, so we've been catching up on all those games that we missed, just because we usually cast all that live. So we're catching up on those games, likewise catching up on HomeStory Cup as well. So PvT Cup is in 6 hours. See you then, Pappy, see you then. The Wednesday PvT Cup broadcast is going to be live. That'll be a live cast. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. Our Patreon does fund our tournaments, our weekly events such as the Tuna Cup, and also our monthly events like the Masters One Open and Ducklings Open are all funded via the Patreon. And you can see this weekend we have Masters One Open. That is our amateur event for Masters players. Bear that in mind. It is MMR restricted, and we have the Tuna Cup on Sunday, which is open to all, which is open to pro players. And we actually just had our recent champion Björn did win the last Tuna Cup. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be wrapping up for the morning, and we'll see you guys later tonight or tomorrow, depending on your time zone, of course. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.